So for opening links that are shared by other applications to our app, we need to specify intent in activity tag of our launcher activity. So we have main activity as launcher activity since it has intent filter main of category launcher. Now here we need to define other filters also so that other apps installed on device can share link with our app. So after main intent filter of category launcher, we will add one more intent filter. In that we will add data tag and we will specify Android scheme to HTTP and we will collapse its empty tag, then copy this data tag one more time and we will specify scheme to HTTPS. Then in that intent filter we will add action and we will specify Android name and we will use android.intent.action.view and we will collapse empty tag. Then we will add category and specify Android name to android.intent.category default and we will collapse empty tag. Then we will add data and we will specify Android MIME type to all /all. So all is specified by asterisk mark and we will collapse empty tag. After this we will add one more intent filter with action android.intent.action.web search and collapse its empty tag and we will specify category.default and collapse its empty tag. After this we will add one more intent filter. We will specify action in android.intent.action.send and we will collapse its empty tag and we will use category default and we will use data MIME type text /plain. So this will allow other apps to share link with our app. So we have one warning: activity supporting action view is not set as browsable. So here we will just add one more category.browsable and collapse its empty tag and just copy this whole intent filter one more time. We'll keep Android scheme as HTTP, Android scheme as HTTPS. We'll keep action view, category default and category browsable, but we will remove MIME type from it. Now we define our intent filters in our manifest file. Now we are going to use those intent filters in our main activity.java file. So open main activity.java file. Here we will do one more thing in Android manifest file. For our main activity, we will set launch mode to single task. So it will call on new intent and we will specify label and open strings.xml file, and at the top we will declare one more string resource, browser label flame browser, and we will use this browser label for our main activity, so it will show that to other apps which want to share link with our app. And we are going to use exported true for our main activity so that it will be available to other applications for sharing link with our application. Now we are ready with our manifest file. Now in our main activity file, we will override one special method on new intent. So since we set launch mode to single task, every time when other apps share links with our application, this on new intent will be called. So in that we will create a try block. In we will check if custom horizontal manager is not equal to null and normal types RV adapter is not equal to null. If the both instances are present, then we'll create one more try block. We'll use set intent to intent. We'll catch exception E. In that case, we'll show toast r.string dot oops general message, that is something went wrong. In the final block, we'll create one more try block. In this we will get bundle from intent using intent dot get extras. We'll check if bundle is not equal to null, then we'll get final string URL string, and we'll use one special function get tab opener link. In that we will get URL string. So after on new intent, we'll declare private string get tab opener link function. In this we will create a try block. First of all, we will get set intent with the help of get intent. Then we will set received action string to intent dot get action. After this we will check if text utils dot is empty received action. If it is not empty, then in that case we will create a switch block. We will switch to received action. We will define first case intent dot action sent. If this is the case, then we will extract type using intent dot get type. Then we will check if type is not equal to null. If it is not equal to null, then we will check if text / plain dot equals type. Then we will extract shared text using intent dot get string extra intent dot extra text. Then we will check if text utils dot is empty shared text. If it is not empty, then we will return that shared text, else we will return 0. Now if the type is not equal to text / plain, then in the else part we will return 0 as string. If the type is null, then in the else part again we will return 0 as string. And we will just cut the whole code, create a block of curly braces, and inside that block we will paste that code. So this is case action sent. Then we will define new case intent dot action web search, and we'll create new block of curly braces. We'll declare string shared text is equal to intent dot get string extra search manager dot query, and we'll check if text utils dot is empty shared text. If it is not empty, then we will return that shared text, else we will return 0 as string. Now after case action web search, we will define case intent dot action view, and we will create a new block. We will use URI intent dot get data. Then we will check if URI is not equal to null. If it is not equal to null, then we will return URI dot toString. Else we will return 0 as string. After this, we will define default case, and here we will return 1 as string. Now we have this if block in which we are checking if our received action is not empty. But in case if it is empty, then in the else block we will return 1. Now this whole code is inside try block, so we will create catch exception E. In case of exception, we will return 1 as string. Now we are ready with our function get type opener link. So we will use this in on new intent. So we are returning either a link or 0 or 1. So first of all, we will check if URL string dot equals 0. Then in that case, we will show toast malformed URL. We will extract string resource and just provide its resource ID to show toast. Then we will check else if URL string dot equals 1. If it not equals to 1, then we will reference normal types RV adapter dot viewholder is equal to normal types RV adapter dot get viewholder, which will represent the currently expanded viewholder. Then we will check if viewholder is not equal to null. If it is not equal to null, then we will use normal types RV adapter dot add new type. Here we will use another special function check and get, and we will pass URL string to it, and we will use 4 as view type. So we will create this check and get function after get type opener link function. So we will create private string check and get, and it will accept string value. Then we will create a try block. In this try block, we will create new URL from that value, and we will check if normal types RV adapter dot is network URL value. Then we will directly return that value since it is network URL. Else we will return normal types RV adapter dot get search engine URL plus value since it is not network URL. In the catch exception E, if our new URL method produces any exception, then again we will create a try block. In that try block, we will extract internet domain name. We'll call it internet domain name, and we'll use internet domain name dot from value. Then we'll check if internet domain name dot has public suffix and internet domain name dot has parent. Then in that case we'll return URL util from Android WebKit dot guess URL, and we will supply value to it. Else if internet domain dot is top private domain, Then in that case also we will use return url util dot guess url and we'll pass value to it. In the else part we will return normal types RV adapter dot get search engine URL and we will append value to it. Now if there is any exception if will return normal type survey adapter dot get search engine URL and append value to it. So this is our check and get method. We are going to use this in our on new intent. So after checking if view holder is not equal to null, we will call that check and get and we'll get the appropriate URL string and add tab with view type 4. So as you can see in custom horizontal manager in on layout children we have one method horizontal laydown and in that we have different cases and we already defined our case 4, so there is not any need to redefine it. Now in the else part we will check if custom view container dot get visibility, so this view is not available, so just write this code and we will comment it and set it as to do. So if this custom view container is visible, later on we are going to add a full screen video view in the custom view container. So we are going to use this custom view container as parent for our full screen video view of web page. Here we are checking its visibility. If it is visible, then in that case first of all we will call normal type survey adapter dot set, then we will call normal type survey adapter dot add new tab and we will use check and get. We will supply URL string to it and we will use case 8 as view type and we will call show toast r.string dot opened in background. Now here is to do. We need to define case 8 in custom horizontal manager and we just comment whole if else ladder and set it as to do. Now we will just create a block and instead of this else part later on we will use that block. So currently we will write code in this block because we do not have this if part ready for our application. Now in the else part we will use normal types RV adapter dot add new tab, check and get. We will supply URL string and use 4 as view type. Then since our view holder is not null, we will call view holder dot very common add work. Now this is inside try block, so we will catch exception E. In the case of exception we will show toast r.string.oops general message, that is something went wrong. Now this whole thing is inside outer try block, so we will catch exception F. In case of exception we will do the same thing, we will show toast oops something went wrong. So it will add shared, so it will add a new tab which has shared link, or it will create a new URL with the shared keyword. But there may be a case in which you need to add a URL at the startup of your application. So currently we are not adding any tab when we start our app, but we have one special method add now. Currently we didn't define it in main activity.java, so we will define it. But before that we have one exception. We have one error, not exception. We missed semicolon, so just give semicolon after shared text of get tab opener link. and this code is producing some warnings, is marked unstable with beta. So we will, as you can see, in holder utility we also use that internet domain name and we suppressed it with unstable API usages. So we'll do that later when we wrap this section. Currently keep it as it is. So after check and get method, we will create one more method, void add now, for adding tab on startup. So we will get URL string with the help of get tab opener link. Then we will switch to that URL string. Now our tab opener link can return 0, 1 or URL string to us. So we'll create first case 0. In the case 0, we will define our code and we will create case 1 and we will create default case. So in the case 0, we will show toast r.string.malformed URL and we will call one more special function, normal check and proceed. In the case 1, we will just call normal check and proceed. We will not show any toast to user. In the default block, we will create try block. In that try block, we will use normal type survey adapter dot add new tab and we will call check and get. We will supply URL string and we will use 4 as view type. Now after addition of new tab, we will create another try block. In that we will call db.truncate recent sites table. So currently we do not define it, so we will set this as to do and comment those 2 lines. Then in case of exception E, we'll just do the same thing. So just copy this to do block one more time. We'll do that later and we'll break. Now we need to define this normal check and proceed method. So we'll create private void normal check and proceed. In that method we will create a try block and we will create some code. If db dot is save recent tabs is equal to 1. Now we have to do this later on because currently we do not have that table. Now for the else block, we will use this block, normal type survey adapter dot add new tab and we will get homepage URL from database and we will supply 4 as view type. Now in case if there is any exception, then we will use normal type survey adapter dot add new tab db dot get homepage URL and we will supply 4 as view type and we will call db dot truncate recent sites table function over here. Currently we do not have that function, so just comment this and mark it with to do. Now open normal types RV adapter and in normal types RV adapter constructor we have bottom app bar dot post. After setting specs, we will call main activity dot add now. So it will get the URL string with the help of get tab opener link method and it will add appropriate tab in our tab manager. Now we are ready with our code. We will test this on emulator. Now here, as you can see, in on new intent, we kept custom view container as to do. So we need to create functionality for showing full screen video in custom view container. So that is the one functionality. And as you can see in add now block, we kept db.truncate recent sites table as to do. So this is another functionality of our application to save recent sites in database and reopen them. So we need to create those two functionalities, and thereafter we will remove this to do. So currently we keep it as it is and test our application is working fine after sharing link from other application, or if it is adding a default home page when we open app. Currently it is not adding any tab when we open a new tab. Currently it is not adding any tab when we open app. Now we will see if it is adding a new tab after opening it. As you can see, it is adding a new tab. So our first functionality is working. Now just open Chrome browser. Open any web page in Chrome browser. For example, open espn.com and just open Chrome browser menu. Click on share. As you can see, it is showing our Flame browser, that is main activity in share via. So click on this Flame browser and it is opening that link in new tab. So our both functionalities are working. So now we have to do truncate recent sites table. So in the next video, first of all we will declare recent sites table in database. Then we will save our sites at the app exit in that database, and then we will open those sites using that recent sites table. So we will start creating that functionality from the next video.